Generic greetings and welcome to Construction Plus Prison Architect Alpha 35 episode 2. In the previous episode we planned out this. It is the proposed solution for the Alpha 35 problem. The Alpha 35 problem being gangs. However, that in itself might be a problem because as people have pointed out in the comments, gangs, you don't get a lot of them even if you do high risk, and even then you need quite a lot of them to get a gang leader. So we might have a problem with that later on in the build, but I might have some solutions for that anyway. Right, so as always, in the previous episode I planned everything out and then I asked for your feedback and suggestions and comments, and I have trawled through the comment section and pretty much nobody suggested any changes. People have brought up some things that more like statements saying, oh, do you know this, but nobody said, oh, you should change the design and alter it in any particular way. So we're pretty much going to keep it as is. There's one slight little change I want to make, and that is that these things here, I'm going to just increase the size by 1. These are our officers, and the reason we're doing that is so we have a straight path going down, and it just makes more sense. We can also do the same to that if we want. Actually, can we? No, we can't. We need to have that. See, that there is going to be... I'm trying to change it just a little bit because this at the bottom, that was going to be our staff room. But in order to get there, you need to go through this bit here, which is, as you can see, slightly problematic because that's just a... Yeah, how we're going to do that? We're going to have it like that, aren't we? Doors either side. That works out. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. Actually, looks like it's quite good and different. Anyway, yeah, so that's the only real change we're going to make. We might not put in some of the rooms that I've mentioned. I know that I said originally this was going to be a classroom, and then I changed it to maybe this, perhaps. But then a lot of people have said, well, you know what? If you don't do classroom, you don't then need to do the library, and you've got a bit more space, and you don't need to have any of that. And it sort of works out for gangs, because gangs, you would think, you know, they're not really that bothered about, you know, sort of renting Shakespeare and, you know, sort of having a bit of a read of that and some sonnets and stuff while they're stabbing someone to death. So, you know, perhaps we won't do that, but we'll see. Anyway, as you can see, I've got some grants, a basic detention centre and administration centre, so now I guess we'll crack on building. Just start building away. As always, no prisoners for this episode and probably the next one as well, and then we'll see how far we get with this one. So, let us crack on with some construction. We'll go to foundations, and then we could either do building brick or building concrete. Since the last... Oh, there's an auto light button which has been introduced as well, which is fantastic. You can now auto light stuff if you wish. Oh, yes, look. Automatically place when you build buildings. Fantastic. I'm going to turn it off. Right, so building a brick, and yeah, why not? Let's crack on with the building of brick. So I've got it paused at the moment, which is good. I'm going to build that area there, and then all of this area down the bottom, and then we'll unpause it, and then we'll crack on. Obviously, we've got auto light off, so I will have to light this myself, but I don't mind one bit. So we're going to put some doors in a couple of places like there and there and there, and also, I guess it would make sense me putting one there as well. Okay, and they're just going to crack on. Builder rating, fantastic. As I said, there's been a couple of comments, people, you know, just making statements rather than changes, saying things like, are you aware that the gangs can actually take over security? I wasn't aware of that, and I'm still a bit dubious about that one. I'm not, you know, calling you a liar, but security is, it's not a recreation room. There's nothing there for them that they want to take. And I don't know whether they meant take over as in they'll storm that when they kick off, or whether they actually take it over and sit in it, because they don't normally sit in security. It's not something that the prisoners do, and even if they do that, security is where all of the guards congregate anyway as a default option. You know, there's a yard in there, and they sort of sit around there as a standard option. So we'll have to play that by ear and see how it goes. Also, a lot of people telling me that we need to build all of these rooms. The ones that we build, when we designate them, like the common room and the yard, we need to build all of the things in there before we get the gangs, because if we don't, then they can actually come in, and when they take it over, you're no longer able to build in there. Now, I was aware of that, so I wouldn't worry too much about that one. I was aware. So we should be okay. Anyway, let's just crack on with this building here, and obviously you need to build several rooms, and I'm just going to put in all of the brick wall. The reason I've chosen brick is because I thought it would be a little bit, well, it's just different from the last one, because the last one was concrete. So yeah, that's my reasoning. So we're just putting all of the walls in here. Obviously we only have a certain amount of money, so I don't want to overdo this really. So let's get these ones. I'm knowingly messing this up already because I'm aware that these here will have they'll basically be bricking themselves in, but I'm aware of that. Right, so we'll go security door, staff door. And we'll put staff door all around here like this, and then obviously we need a bit of power, so we'll go to utilities, power block, and we'll shove the power station in, obviously water pump on the right hand side there, and then we'll just run some capacitors down the side with hopefully some electrical cable joining them up as well. And then what we'll do, we'll run some power in a moment, so we'll just speed up to max speed and then they can crack on. Obviously we're going to have to build a fence all the way around here once we've done some of the other stuff as well. This is our like morgue and other things like that there, so we'll have to put that in, then we'll put a fence all the way around, just making sure that we have definitely turned off prisoner intake. We have definitely turned off prisoner intake, which is a good thing, because we definitely don't want that. We do want max sec, however. We don't want any of the low risk stuff there, and we can say all, and it says none. There is none available, so we're just going to say none. We don't... Why does that say daily intake? Next daily intake is 0. Okay, that's weird. That's never happened before. None. Oh, that's an interesting one. That's a bit of a bug, that. When you change the ratio off, because you can see this says available, if I say none of them, and if I just say, oh, we'll receive that ratio and then say none, it says daily intake 0. But if I put them to 0, which is closed, it then says we're going to receive all of the prisoners next morning, which happens to be 0 because of their max sec and there's none available. And you can't turn that to none, so that's a bit of a glitch, but we'll hopefully not break the prison by keeping that open. Right, okay, electrical cable, we're going to run it a little bit better than we normally do. We're actually going to take a little bit more time in planning this one, so we're going to run that up like that, and then I want my small pipes to run across here, you see. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to run the small pipe up like that, and then I want it to run along this side and then down and then across like that when we put the stuff in, obviously. So I'm gonna be a little bit more sensible when it comes to placing things here. So we'll actually take a little bit of time to place things like lights and such. So I'm putting lights in inside here. We only really need the 1. Inside here we'd like the 2. There we are. And inside here we would like the 2 as well. But obviously a lot of the lighting solutions we're implementing here, this is it's fairly standard stuff. You know, we don't really need to... We didn't really need to... We could put some more lights in there. We don't need more lights. We didn't really need to turn off the auto lighting tool, you see. But, yeah, I guess we... For these ones anyway, the reason to keep it off is when you do this. Right, when you've got a lot of brickwork to put in inside. You know, we could have kept the light on automatically if we needed to. Right, okay, so we've got a lot of stuff put in there. That is fine. Now we just need to go to, I guess, some... We could put some staff room. Might as well designate the staff room in the bottom here. There we are. We'll furnish that in a moment. And now offices. So we need a warden's office, which will be right at the bottom. And we'll hire 1 unit of warden. There we are. And then obviously he's now going, yay, I can do nothing because I haven't got a proper office. Well, I'm going to resolve that for you. I'm going to resolve that issue straight away by getting, it's highlighting drinks machine and stuff. No, he doesn't want a drinks machine in there. Or does he? Maybe he wants a coffee, I don't know, some coffee thing. I'm going to put all these in. Like a little, what do you call the coffee, I was going to say a coffee machine, obviously, but there's the proper name for it. Cafetiere? Nah, I'm not a coffee drinker. Right. Right, let's get on with the chairs. Put that all in. And these are all of our offices, apart from that one that I've just missed up there. So we'll crack on with that one, unpause it, and they can get on with it. And I need 1 unit of desk, which, there you go. The reason I'm scrolling down is because it automatically fills the... It automatically fills the box. It sort of repopulates it, so it's quite easy. So final cabinet's going to put in. That guy now says warden's office. There we are, fantastic. So we can, you see, we need to unlock finance. So we will unlock finance. There we go. And obviously we're going to go down the full thing. So education, legal. We'll go for health because that's the next thing we're going to get, and then psychology as well. So there we go. We'll unpause that and we'll crack on. So in 3 hours 9 minutes, we're going to receive some prisoners, but it'll be. I'm not sure about this. I'm really not sure because the way it works is that it detects whether you've got prisoners or not, as far as I'm aware. And if you have got prisoners, it will then close all of the doors and class it as a working prison. But I don't know whether it's either if the prisoner count is greater than 0, or whether there's a trigger, say, in the first intake. So what I'm going to do to play it safe, I'm going to say receive some prisoners and then say none, so we're not... No, it's close to new inmates, so we're not going to receive any prisoners. So we'll literally bring these ratios down to the lowest possible amount, but keep MaxSec open so we'll start populating that. Because otherwise, if they do turn up, basically we've broke the prison and I'd have to restart this thing. So I'll load it from the previous planned save, which is something I really don't want to do. Okay, so for wide, we can shove them in this corner, but I like the idea of putting drinks machines there. And then we'll have some wide sofas in on this side like that, and that's all you really need for now. We could put more in, but I'm not going to bother. There we are. Okay, that's all sorted. Right, so we'll just need to go to our planning, our utilities here, and obviously we need to run in some power. Now, this room currently doesn't have any purpose, but we're just going to run a little bit of power in like so. This one we're going to run in, but it will run in to the top because this is where we'll have our laundry machines, you see, so it makes sense there. This one, for some reason, has already got power because of that, and then what I want to do is drag this power cable along and then along the top, and what that'll do is allow me to connect all these individual ones, so that should work out. We'll only have one set of like generators. We're only going to have one power station and set of capacitors in this prison. We won't need any more because we haven't got workshop or anything like that. You see, apparently there's a new drinking game. Every time I say you see, then people take a drink. I didn't realize I said it that much, but hey ho. I guess you'll see. Right, okay, trollolol. So, what else do we need? Well, basic detention center grant, administration center as well. Basic detention center, we need holding cell, shower yard, kitchen, canteen, things like that. What I'm going to do is just go to fence, and I'm going to place a fence all the way around, mainly because I don't know what else to do at the moment, so we might as well get the fence put in. There we are. Obviously, these two rooms here will finish off the other side. There we go. We've had a ding-a-ling noise, which means we've now got, I guess, some finance. Oh, psychology for some reason. For some reason, psychology was done first. I don't know why that is the case. I'm pretty sure I clicked on finance, but it was paused at the time. Maybe it didn't, or maybe I just messed it up. As for flooring, by the way, we're not going to do that until later on. We really need to get, well, a wall around the prison first. Let me just check our reports. Yeah, we can see we now have 8 prisoners max sec. So I'm going to close intake for these other stuff, and we need to receive just the max sec. I'm hoping we get some legendary prisoners and things like that, but we'll have to see how it goes, as always. I said how it goes instead of how it goes, but that's just my accent just coming through there. It's a bit subdued for these videos, how it goes in my house. Right, okay, so we need to finish the fence, and then you can see build 2 offices, and we're almost done that. In fact, we can get that one pretty much sorted by just going to office, and ding-a-ling, there we go, there's that sorted. As soon as we get finance, we will unlock the accountant, then we'll buy an accountant, or hire, I guess. It wouldn't be a buy, you're not buying them, and they're not like a slave or anything like that, you don't own them. You hire it, and then boom, there you go, we now have a accountant, and then we will get that grant done, which is 5 grand, but it's basically there to unlock other things. So there we go, there's that done. We'll pause it for a second while I just get a accountant, hire 1 unit of accountant, and bang, there we go, there's that grant done. 5 grand, which pretty much pays for a little bit of what we've done there, but not a lot. Let's just have a quick look on here. We need to go for extra grant unlock from finance, because obviously that'll give us, well, an extra grant. It's fairly self-explanatory. It's fairly on sale. It does what it says on the tin. Extra grant, it gives you an extra grant. Fine. We'll also go for a bank loan as well. We're not going to bother with tax relief or offshore tax haven, because we're not building anything. We're not making anything inside of the prison in terms of license plates or anything like that, so we're not going to bother. Land expansion, we might think about that later on. What I'm probably going to do is, depending on how fast we can get this built, I will then expand to the left and then just basically put more prisoners in, but we'll see how that one goes. I have a feeling this one's going to take a little bit longer because I want to be a little bit more thorough. So foundations, building brick, and I want to get this bit at the bottom done. Why? Well, that's because this is going to be our next grant, which will be, if I go to our grants, the health and well-being grant, which is a fairly decent advancement, I believe. 10 grand advancement and then a 10 grand payment, which is quite good as well. Once we've got the extra grant as well, we will also go for a long-term investment and a short-term investment. Right, so requires an entrance, this thing, so that's fairly easy to do. We could go for a staff door, and you know what? I think instead I'm going to go for a jail door. I don't really want gangs coming in here and breaking in, which is obviously going to be something that will probably happen. We will have automatic door openers on these things, so actually, do I want that? I don't know. I don't think I do. See, currently we've got doors on here. This is where we've got, that's staff door obviously, but these rooms will be freely open to all of the prisoners, so we don't really need to put anything other than a door, because this will be where we have a laundry room. And I guess it's weird, because I've always thought of the laundry being a bit of a risky place. You know, it's like, it should be full of chemicals and things like that, but you do get prisoners working in there. So I don't really know. What I was thinking of doing is actually breaking that off and having the janitors work in there and having them bring it through. And we still might get on with that. I still might do that, but we'll see how it goes. Obviously, that's only a little bit of editing. We just remove that door, break it up, put the door there, and then they go around and it's job done. So we'll see how we go with that one. Anyway, I've removed this door here, and I'm going to put in 2 doors. One for the psychologist and one for the infirmary. And I actually think that's a mistake as well, but you know what? I'm just trying to get the grant done. I can think about these things later on. So we need to get a medical ward. Well, build a medical ward, which is an infirmary, and it requires health, which should be... just as I looked at it, it's been finished. Right, there we are. So we will get this sorted. We will build this here. There we are. And then we'll go for the morgue down the bottom. That's a fairly easy one. And then obviously we need to do some lighting in this place because I removed the lights. I'm going to put double lighting in there so it's like strip lights. Morgue only requires a little bit of lighting, and so does that as well. There we are. Obviously, we need to power this thing up, and we could run the power all the way down the bottom there, but that's going to be a bit stupid because we could literally just do that. And actually, you know what? We don't even need to do that. We just need to do that, and that should probably finish it off. That should probably do that job quite nicely. Let's just get a staff door on that area there. That's the morgue. We don't need to do anything else there. Medical bed will complete that room, and then the morgue, we will spin the rooms, or these little slabs down to there. We'll put one in for now because that's just basically the grant done. So we do need to finish this office because it is, after all, a psychologist office. There's been a comment, or I guess a couple of people mentioning that, why don't I build more than one psychologist office? It is possible that you can build more than one psychologist office, and for some reason, I honestly don't have an answer for you. I really don't. Sometimes I do that. Well, I've thought about that, and sometimes I go, maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's not. I'm just going to put some more capacitors in here, by the way, because we're going to put them there, so, you know, might as well put them in, and it means I don't have to place more cable. Saves a tiny. It saves $10 in the long run, but then I waste that much just for messing around anyway. Yes, so why not build more psychologist office? Well, you can do that, and you know it will give you a bit of an advantage because you can then do a lot of things that maybe you. Let me put a little bit of a sofa in. You can do a lot of other things. You can have a couple of psychologist offices, and then you can run more programs. You know, things like the behavioural therapy program, and also Alcoholics Anonymous. I think is administered by the. It's sort of overseen rather than administered. It's overseen by the psychologist. But yeah, you can do that. Anyway, 1 unit of psychologist. There we are. 2 doctors. There we are. Sorted. I could keep both doctors on the payroll. And that would that be a mistake? Basically, it's going to take 10 days until we are making a loss, but even then it's only a small loss, so you know what, I'm going to keep the doctors. I might as well keep them. Right, foundation and building brick. I am going to auto-light this one because these are going to be fairly big rooms, so there's no reason for me not to, and I want to light that. I want to bring this up to there and up to there, and the reason I'm doing that is not because we need to, honestly, because we don't really need to do this all the way around here, but what I do need to check is that the right size? It is the right size. It also requires an entrance, which is problematic. I will put a door there, which will technically open all of this up. Yeah, that's fine. We'll put a door there, which should open that up as well. Hopefully that's going to not build a foundation right across there, but I have a feeling it will. And then I'll have to demolish this bit here. Actually, yeah. Yeah, that is in the wrong place. Yeah. The reason I'm doing this is because it's going to end up enclosing the entire thing. So that makes more sense to me than, you know, having to put some fake sort of walls all the way around and stuff like that. Right. I think we'll go for a short-term investment, and it should be... yeah, extra grant's almost done, and once that is done, I will get the long-term investment straight away. 20 grand, there we go, and there's a long-term investment. Obviously, we've got 15 grand left to do this building, and as you can see, this is messed up. So we're going to dismantle that door there, because we don't need that, and then we're going to demolish walls. We'll demolish all of that wall there, and then we'll put some brick walls along there, and then along here. Actually, we're going to cancel that bit of brick wall, because we don't need it yet, and we want to put these in. See, this is going to be, that's like postal, or that's, I think that's, well, either one of them's going to be like a postal office, and one of them's going to be the, what would you call it, the staff room type thing. Not the staff room, the store. And then these ones, this one currently doesn't have a purpose, or rather, I guess it does have a purpose, but I just don't know what that purpose is. I think we did say originally it was going to be like a chapel or something. Like this one was going to be the chapel, and this was, I think that's going to be the chapel. I think the biggest thing we can make is the chapel. Chapel is good, like in the game. It does good things. Right, so electrical cable, we're going to run that right up, so like that, and then we're going to run it in to there, and then we can just literally put a little couple of cables in like that. This one doesn't need to because of the way it's being placed, so there we are. And they're going to crack on with all of that. So basic detention center, we are nowhere near done. We haven't done any part of that. Do we have a holding cell in this? I think we lost out on the holding cell. I didn't end up getting a holding cell, which is a bit weird. This area here, by the way, this was, I don't know whether I'm going to keep this bit on the outside. I haven't yet decided, but I do want to put a large jail door there, which means that our people can actually get outside, because at the moment they can't. Right, a bit of storage is in order, and there you go. There is that, simple as you like, and we can store stuff in there, and we've got like a couple of boxes and stuff. Looks like all of the stuff's been placed there, apart from in here, because obviously we don't have a door. Well, let's resolve that problem. There's that sorted. Right. I think we will go for a room, and I guess we can go for yard. We need 2 units of yard, which will go 1 there, and then 1 down the bottom there, and it's made the dingling noise because it's basically saying that it's enclosed, it's now a legitimate yard. It's not complete by any means, because we need to put some fences all the way around it and things like that, so, you know, but understand that it just means that that's indoors, which means it works. Okay, visitation, we can designate all of that. I'm not going to furnish it just yet, but I do want to put a door on either side. There we are, and door there as well. And actually this room here doesn't require that door there. That door there actually does it. We could put a door all the way through the back, and it means that the other people don't need to come through the other areas. So if the person that's coming to run the chapel, for example, they don't then have to come through the main prison here. They can walk through that door, which makes sense to me. Okay. Utilities, and as you can see, we've got a bit of a problem there because they didn't place it, which it's cancelled it. Okay, that's fine, I guess. We can deal with that. Okay, 10,688 generic units of currency. You're actually receiving 280 per day, so we're making a profit by doing nothing, which is, yeah, it's not a complaint. It's fine. We could just sit here for days and days and days getting money. It's not going to be that interesting for you, you understand. Right. So we need a holding cell, we need a shower, we need a kitchen, a canteen, 2 guards, 2 cooks, and then we've got our short and long-term investment. So we've got the education reform program, which we're not going to get, obviously. We need to get things like visitation rights. That would be quite good, but you do need the basic detention center in order to get that done. So I think we crack on with that. But I have a little bit of a problem when it comes to that bit. I don't have enough money to get that done. Kitchen, canteen, and shower, and holding cell. So let's just go to brick building. And what if... how much would it cost to build this? More than I have. So I could build this area. What about this, which will be our shower and also a little bit... well, this will be our first cell block. We're going to auto light it as well, I think. The light should be okay because it's got a big open space in the center. We're going to do this because I mean, thank God for auto light. It's good. I've been wanting the ability to not auto light for a long time, and it worked out over there. Don't know whether it's going to be alright here, but I'm interested to see what it looks like, because I might turn it off for the others and just light it myself. Yeah, I want to do this first because this is our first cell block. Getting that one done means that it just means that we can get the shower and even the holding cell. What we'll do is we'll make the center bit a holding cell just for sake of doing it, and then that will allow us to get 2 of them done instead of having to mess around. And then we just need the center done, which we can get enough money from the short and long-term investments, and then hopefully we'll have enough money to complete that and then crack on. So there's all of that. And actually the auto light did balls up a little bit, so I'm going to cancel the lights. There we go. Cancel the lights. And then I'm going to auto light each of these rooms. Like that. So it means that each cell has its own light. And then I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's about centered to me. There and there. Lights, lights. That should be enough lights, and I think it's more efficient than the way the game was trying to do it. Fantastic. Okay, brick walls in there, and honestly, don't think we have enough money to redo anything else. I think we'll get this bit done, which will be the shower. Obviously, we have to do some drains in here. And then we want a shower head. Like that. Utilities. Large pipe. Costs a bit of money, this large pipe, but we're going to run up the top. Small pipe, $2 a piece. Where's the toilet going to be? I think these cells. Put the toilet there. And the bed like that. Which means we're going to run it down like so. And then along. And then up. And we're out of cash. So it doesn't matter. Do I have enough for that? I do have enough for that. Right. So, that technically should be the shower. I wouldn't want a shower in there. Not yet. But it is a shower. And I think that's it for now. I think we'll leave it there, mainly because of lack of funds. So, leaving it there for now. Not a bad bit of construction. We've got a fairly big chunk of the prison built. Obviously, we've got a couple of grants completed, a couple to get completed of short-term investment and long-term investment on there. And once they're done, we can get the basic detention centre, which will open up the others. But pretty much all we need to do is this centre building. And then that will give us a straight shot to almost get the rest of it done in one go, if I'm honest with you. But we've got a lot of extra sections up here to do and a lot more to really crack on with before we are ready to receive prisoners. Obviously, prisoners being the overall goal of the game. You know, there's not really a prison if you don't have prisoners. Or I guess you could class it as a prison if it doesn't have prisoners. You just say it's not a prison that's active or under construction like this one is. Anyway, as always, we'll have to see what happens next episode. Comments in the comments, and hopefully them investments will be done. I'll probably skip ahead, to be honest with you. Probably skip ahead until the investments are done. At least one of them's done. Anyway, comments in the comments, as always. Thanks very much for watching. Comments in the comments, comments in the comments, comments in the comments. And generic partings.